Good morning, YouTube. It's been a long time since I did a YouTube video in my car, so I thought for old time's sake, let's talk Real Housewives. Welcome to my YouTube. My name is Lindsay. I'm a recovery coach. I also talk Bravo content, and I started out in the YouTube world, and then I had some issues back in December, so I kind of went to the TikTok platform, but now I'm having those issues on TikTok, so I am back to start with my YouTube again. I really love the community over here, and I'm gonna start coming and doing lives a couple of times a week and giving you guys some content, so I hope you enjoy. Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments. So there's a lot of things to talk about here because we have had Louis and Teresa making headlines, but most recently there were headlines about Melissa Gorga and Teresa Giudice making peace or working towards the resolution for the sake of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, the franchise, in the future. My thoughts on this are bullshit. I don't believe it for 1 second. I think the network is putting things out there just to see how people respond. I think that we have a bigger voice than they really want us to know and online, and they like to have things put out in the press to see how people are going to react so that they know how to move forward accordingly. And I think that's what they did with Frank when he went on that podcast and had said that about Teresa, that she had been asked to step away quietly, if you will, and then he said he heard that. Those are things that the network puts out there just to see how people are going to react, and also sometimes I think to scare the housewives. I want you guys to remember that last year the Real Housewives of New Jersey was going to go on a pause, but people were outraged about it, and eventually they started filming in September. They filmed September and October. People thought we were going to get Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving, the old style, the Real Housewives of New Jersey, but that wasn't what producers planned on giving us. I don't think they planned on giving us anything, and that's why they only filmed for 2 months and invested zero money in the franchise, didn't send them on a trip, didn't, do anything really for the franchise for last season. Production didn't, as far as I could tell. I think that New Jersey needs a production makeover just as much as it needs a cast makeover. And if Bravo doesn't change the production on the Real Housewives of New Jersey, then the franchise is not going to be able to be saved, because production is going to run it into the ground. And Bravo needs to be able to recognize when a good thing is no longer a good thing, right? Like, I don't know, maybe it's somebody's brother-in-law who runs their production company. Maybe there's like affiliations or something like that, and they don't want to make changes, but changes need to be made on the back end, right? To make a successful franchise, there are a lot of moving parts, and your production is a very important part of that. And I've said it a million times. Now that you have a different dynamic on the show, you need a different dynamic of producers. You no longer have authentic family drama from Kathy and Rosie and Joe and Teresa. You don't have federal indictment. You don't have prison time. You don't have deportation. These were all things that brought a lot of attention to the Real Housewives of New Jersey and actually helped put the franchise and the network on in everybody's living room. It gave them a name, a big name. And so now that they don't have these authentic drama grabbing headlines, they're struggling and they need a change. So I need Bravo to understand it's not just your cast. You could have an amazing cast, right? But if you don't have good production, you don't have a good show, and that's just how it is. So in my opinion, I don't think necessarily Melissa and Teresa are making peace as we speak. I think that Teresa and Joe would need to make peace first, and Melissa will follow whatever her husband wants from her, in my opinion. I don't think we could ever expect Melissa and Teresa to be authentic with one another, because we know how badly they both have been hurt, probably. And now with everything that's come out about John Fuda, I feel like Melissa really feels validated in the things that she has accused Teresa Giudice of, and I think that regardless, she will still do whatever her husband asks her to do. I think that the resolution's got to come from Joe and Teresa first, and then it can go from there. I think they need to keep the spouses out of it, very much so, especially at the beginning. And I feel like Joe could explain that to Melissa, and Melissa would be totally fine with that, because I think that it's not a situation that they need to bring Louis into right away either, because I think that he doesn't necessarily know how to navigate Joe and Teresa, and he could potentially make the situation worse. So less is more. Two's company, three's a crowd. Let Joe and Teresa go and make peace and talk and hash it out, or do whatever it is they got to do. but I don't think that it would start with Melissa and Teresa. That's just my opinion, though. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. I also want to quickly bring up Vanderpump Rules because Tom Schwartz's ex-girlfriend, Jo. I mean, he doesn't want to say it's his ex-girlfriend, but I think all of us pretty much know that she was his ex-girlfriend. They dated, right? Well, he doesn't really want to admit that they dated. He's kind of been, I don't know what the word is, rude to her in the press after, like, the season aired, and I think he has a girlfriend now, etc, etc. She actually started a clothing line. She looks like she's doing really great for herself, which I think is amazing, taking, you know, the opportunity. She didn't have a huge opportunity, but she was on the show. People do know who she is, and so taking advantage of that and trying to, you know, make money at it, and that's, I think, inspiring to all women. And I think that she seems like a young woman who's went through something that most of us have been through, which is we thought we were dating a guy, we, you know, spent time, energy, whatever, and then afterwards they deny like they're too good for you. You're like, bro, what? And I think that's kind of what happened here. And Jo's just like, you know, she's just young and she doesn't necessarily understand that this has happened to all of us at some point in our life, because men can be not the nicest human beings in the world, especially when you're young. And I think that we kind of got to look at Tom Schwartz. I think, you know, I always liked Tom, but then I do look at this situation like, you kind of did her shitty. So anyway, she posted on her Instagram today, I wish I could share it with you guys, but I can't because of copyright and stuff. But basically, it's like 2 videos of her and Schwartz and their time together, and like all the cute stuff they did, and just intimate photos. Not intimate, it's just like photos of their friendship and stuff. And I just think that his new girlfriend probably didn't really like that, but I guess that he just posted on vacation with the new girlfriend, and Jo is letting all of us know that she is moving on. That's the purpose of her post, she said, was to let people know that she's moving on with another guy, and she just wanted to purge and get all of this out, and basically probably looking just to let everyone know, like, the validation that they really did date and that he just is a liar face. So anyway, guys, leave your thoughts in the comments and make sure you hit the like and share button, and have a great day. Bye.